Good evening, folks. It's your bro Richie Rich here. Today in this video, I'm back with another Need for Speed explanation video for y'all. Today in this video, I'll be talking to y'all about one of the greatest all-time Need for Speed games of the entire Need for Speed gaming franchise. Starting to sound fancy, but because today it's going to be something special, and it is very special. Today in this video, I'm going to be talking to you all about one of the most legendary all-time Need for Speed games of the 2000s. And I got a little surprise I want to show you all. I hope you guys like this. Rate it out of 10. Doesn't matter if it's low or high. Automatic, so that if I get a rating, it'll be great. Long time ago, I recently designed this. Get ready, because this might take your breath away. I designed this. Ta-da! For those who don't know what this is, you guys all recognize this. It's all for all you Need for Speed franchise, Need for Speed enthusiasts and fans, this right here is the mighty BMW M3, BMW M3 GTR. Now, I basically designed this as an E40. Now, what I did is I basically designed an E46 M3 to look like a replica of the GTR in the game. So I kind of done it. It looks okay. The only thing that bugs me is the back. Like, I did it a little bit out of proportion. I can tell because it sticks out a little bit from the side bumper right here. It's a bit of like a replica I designed, but overall this car looks great. It's in good condition. Well, I could have done better improvement, like with some outlining. I'll admit, like, I could have done better, but I did as much as I can. Like, it looked okay. I mean, I could have done more Need for Speed cars from the franchise, but I went with what I got, really. I might do some more cars from Most Wanted, presumably. I don't know, but I'll find out. I'll think of something. So today in this video, I'll be talking to you all about the greatest Need for Speed game of all time. And yes, you all know it. Today I'll be talking to you all about Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. This is one of my most favorite games in the whole world, considering it came out in the year I was born. And just keeps getting better. Honestly, like, I never would have expected the game to come out on my birth year. Like, honestly, well, it came out a month before I was even born. It came out in November 2005. So, sorry if I'm screwing it up. It's just, I was getting so excited to get this over with. So, before I start, make sure you all like the video, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. So comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell. So hit the notification bell and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so it's 4 minutes, so let's get started. So, without any further ado, fasten your seatbelts, shift the car to first gear, crank up the NOS, activate it, boost your way through the straightaway, and let's get started while burning some rubber. Alright, let's begin. So, Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. Here we go. So, NFS Most Wanted. So, NFS Most Wanted is a 2005 racing video game. It's a racing video game, and the ninth installment. So, a ninth installment in the NFS series. Both developed and published by EA It's often acclaimed. It's often acclaimed as one of the greatest racing games, racing games of all time. It's released. It was released on November 2000, November 2000. I can't even talk. November 2000, November 2005. There we go. Said it like 4 or 5 times. Kept on screwing up. So November 2005. November 2005 for GameCube, PS2, Windows. So GameCube, PS2, Windows, and the original Xbox. Oh, and even the Xbox and Xbox 360, alongside two distinct versions for both the Nintendo DS and Nintendo DS and Game Boy Advance. So Game Boy Advance or GBA. Another version for PSP, which is PlayStation Portable. So it's a handheld version of the PlayStation. So PSP titled Need for Speed Most Wanted 510. So 5-1-0. So 510 or 510 was released at the same time. So same time and featured. Featured alternative gameplay. The developers are EA Canada, EA Black Box, Team Fusion for the PSP, Sensory Sweep Studios for the Nintendo DS, and Pocketeers for the Game Boy Advance. Publisher is EA, obviously. So publisher is EA. So EA, obviously. So Electronic Arts. Composer is Paul Linford, the guy who created the soundtracks for Need for Speed. I'll get to that very soon. So yeah, Paul Linford. So yeah, composer is Paul Linford. Series is Need for Speed. Engine is EA. So the engine is EAGL, which stands for EA Graphics Library. So EA Graphics Library. Platforms are there is 8 platforms in total. So the platforms are Game Boy Advance, GameCube, Nintendo DS, PS2, PSP, Windows, the original Xbox, and the Xbox 360. Out of all those, I would pick the 360 to play on for the Need for Speed Most Wanted game. So yeah, I would take the 360 and play Most Wanted 2005 on that because it's just freaking cool with the Xbox 360. That's the way to go. Or maybe the PS2, I don't know. But I've been more of a Microsoft enthusiast, so I go with the 360. So yeah, let's go with the 360. Release is November 2005 for November. So the release is on November 2005 for North America, Europe, and Australia. For some reason, they don't have Japan. I wish they would. Like, I wonder what it looked like if it was Japanese as well. But oh well. But because it doesn't have it, we got only North America, Europe, and Australia. So for the release in North America, Europe, and Australia, they're released on November 2005. In North America on the 15th, Europe 25th, and Australia 28th. And then we got in Europe, we got December 2005 on the 2nd. That one for December was for the Xbox 360. Genre is racing and modes is genre racing and modes is both single and multiplayer. Most Wanted focuses on street racing orientated street racing oriented gameplay involving a selection of events and racing circuits. So racing circuits found within the fictional city of Rockport. Say within the fictional city of Rockport. The game's main story involving players taking on the role of a street racer who must compete against 15 of the city's most elite street racers to become the most wanted racer of the group. So of the group. So the 15 racers who are known as the Blacklist rivals were starting off at the bottom with number 15. We got Sunny, and then we got Taz, Vic, Izzy, Big Lou, Baron, Earl, Jules, Case, Ming, Webster. There we go. JV, and then we got the drivers who we know, mostly Ronnie, Toro, who was known as Bull, and Razor as well. So the game's main story involving players taking on the role of a street racer who must compete against 15 of the city's 15 of the city's most elite street racers. The most elite street racers to become the most wanted racer of the group. In the process, they will seek revenge against one of the groups who took their car, which was the M3, who took their car and develop a feud with the city's PD, so city's police department, so the Rockport PD, presumably. So yeah, the game brought in many notable improvements improvements and additions over other entries in the series. Its major highlight being more in depth police more in depth pursuits. There we go. Say police pursuits. Certain additions of the game were packaged with the ability for online multiplayer. So online multiplayer gaming. Upon its release, excuse me. Upon its release, the game received acclaim. So received acclaim from critics and became a commercial success. So that's great. So success, selling 16 million. That's right, 16 million copies. So 16 million copies worldwide, becoming the best selling game in the series. Its success led to a collector's edition. It's a collector's edition known as the Black Edition. It's a Black Edition which provided additional content. A virtual edition was available for a PS3. So PS3 via the PlayStation Store or the PS Store in May 2012, until it was discontinued the following year in 2013. The game was succeeded by Carbon, so NFS Carbon in 2006, a year later, which continues Most Wanted's story. A reboot by the same name developed by Criterion Games. So by British video game developer Criterion Games, was released in October, so October 2012, so late 2012 it was. The same year Forza Horizon, so it was the same year for, I can't even talk. Wow, so the same year, the first ever Forza Horizon, there we go, Forza Horizon game, so Forza Horizon game never came out at that same year. So yeah, reboots by the same name, developed by Criterion Games. Criterion Games was released in October 2012. Alright, next up is gameplay. I'm okay, guys. It's just this heat is killing me. I can barely talk. It's like I have a heart attack, but I'm okay. I don't have a heart attack. I'm just saying I just feel like it because I can't really say the words. Maybe it's because of this. Probably because this heat is just unbearable. Unbelievable. Anyways, next up is gameplay. Here we go. In the game, players take part in illegal street races across most wanted setting. So most wanted setting, utilizing a variety of licensed cars, so licensed real world cars that can be both upgraded and customized with new parts, while contending with the environment so with the environment of the cops, say environment of the cops, so the cops in their efforts to impede the player, as in to stop the player. Race events feature a mix of competitive racing across either circuit or point-to-point races and checkpoints, sprints, and drag races. The game features 3 modes of play: career, quick race, and challenge series, with a fourth mode allowing for multiplayer being available to players on certain console editions. While many of the race events feature those used in previous entries in the games, particularly the underground set of games. Some events like Drifting, Street X, URL, which is Underground Racing League, tournaments, and Outrun are absent from Most Wanted and replaced with 2 new ones. The first event is Toll Booth. So the first event is Toll Booth, a checkpoint styled solo race in which players must hit a set of checkpoints, each one within a set amount of time. Reaching a checkpoint quickly adds the time left over to the timer for the next checkpoint. second event is Speed Trap. So Speed Trap, in which players compete in a competitive checkpoint race and must hit each checkpoint at their fastest speed. Upon crossing the finish line, each checkpoint's total speed is accumulated to determine the winner. Speed accumulated by the player, either the player or opponent. Either the player or opponent gets deducted by 10 kilometers an hour, which is 6.2 miles an hour, after an opponent crosses the finish line first. This is signified by intermittent flashing on screen until the player or the other opponent's cars crosses the finish line. The game features a selection of stock cars, like standard cars, like IS 300, Fiat Punto, Cobalt SS, VW Golfs, Golf GTIs, and so on and so forth. And some other cars, mainly supercars, tuner cars, muscle cars, you name it, they got it. So the game features a selection of stock cars. So the game features a selection of stock vehicles or just standard cars. So when I say stock cars, it's like saying stock car wasn't like part of the NASCAR circuit. It just kind of sounds like I'm saying that, but that's totally besides the point. The game features a selection of stock cars, so standard cars, so standard vehicles to choose from, each of which can be modified. So modified during the game's career mode with upgrades to enhance its performance. So upgrades to enhance its performance and visual appearance. So like body kits, rear wings, wheels, hoods, roof scoops, all that kind of stuff. Say visual appearance. So the game features a selection of stock cars to choose from, each of which can be modified during the game's career mode and career mode with upgrades to enhance its performance and visual appearance. Alright. Customization of the car's appearance is limited. The main emphasis of customization is to reduce the car's heat level rather than for reputation, as in the Underground series. Underground series, while some elements that were possible in the previous installments were removed. Others received minor changes, such as players being able to make use of whole body kits. So body kits on cars, the use of only one vinyl for the vehicle, and exterior colors being limited to the car's main body. So main body, wheels, and window tinting. So window tinting. Additional cars are available for the player to use, most of which are acquired from the game's either like from the game's blacklist racers or unlocked after defeating a blacklist racer. while others are bonuses available from completing challenges, a number of cars available in the game are exclusives. So exclusives added in by the Black Edition copy of the game. Police cars cannot be driven in the game, except during special events in the game's Challenge Series mode. For most wanted, exotic cars, such as the Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, Lamborghini Murcielago, and the Ford GT as well, and also like Porsche Carrera GT, and some other cars like Gallardos, and some tuner cars like, Mitsubishi Evos, Toyota Supras, Mazda RX-8s, Mitsubishi Eclipses, and some Euro cars like Golf GTIs, Porsche Caymans, Audi A4s, Fiat Puntos, Lamborghini Gallardos, what else? Aston Martin DB9, BMW M3s, and even the SLR McLarens, and so on and so forth. So such as the SLR McLaren, Murcielago, and Ford GT. Say Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, Mercedes-Benz SLR McLaren, Lamborghini Murcielago, and Ford GT are reintroduced. So they're brought back into the series alongside the tuner cars. Alongside the tuner cars, after the underground titles only focused on tuner cars. So tuner cars Most Wanted, like the underground series, avoids the use of major vehicle damage. So major vehicle damage on all racing models, with only just scratched paint and heavily cracked windshields and cracked windows all around, like the front, sides, and the rear, constituting the whole of the racer's uh, damage um, damage modeling. Police cars, on the other hand, sustain heavy damage. So that's right, heavy damage when hit by the player's car, or caused by the player to crash into other cars or obstacles. Like, for example, like Ronnie's cutscene when he went from a Supra to driving an Aston Martin DB9. There's a cutscene, like there's a picture, like a little short video, like when it starts to flash and it goes on circling the next blacklist racer, and shows info of the racer, where they're like located at, and what car they drive, and showed Ronnie's Aston Martin, and it showed like a picture of him driving past the cops, and it goes with crazy graphics, and shows his name. After that part, it shows the next clip of him driving away from the cops, and at the last turn, he literally just took out the cop, and the cop just went sliding and spinning across the wall, and Ronnie went sliding across to the left, and then drives for a little bit and stops, and the player drives down the ramp and onto the starting grid with Ronnie. So that's just a little example. So Most Wanted, like the underground series, avoids the use of major vehicle damage on all racing models, with only scratched paint and heavily cracked windshields constituting the whole of the racer's damage modeling. Police cars, on the other hand, sustain heavy damage when hit by the player's car, or caused by the player to crash into other cars or obstacles during races and the game. So during races and the game's career mode. So career mode, players can make use of nitrous boosts to help give them an edge against opponents. So the use of NOS, or nitrous oxide, to help give them an edge against against opponents. Unlike in Underground, which first introduced the gameplay mechanic, nitrous oxide recharges over time, thus allowing the players to reuse it when needed. So it's not just Most Wanted, it's like there's many other Need for Speed games. So Need for Speed games that does that, like Carbon, The Run, Rivals, 2015 Need for Speed, and then got Payback, Heat, and then Unbound probably would do the same. Not quite 100% sure. I never played either Heat or Unbound before, but I don't know. So unlike in Underground, which first introduced which first introduced um, the gameplay mechanic. NOS recharges over time, thus allowing the player to reuse it when needed. Players can use a second ability to help out in tough situations called Speed Breaker. When used, uh, the ability slows down time, similar to bullet time, which is also known as frozen moment, dead time, flow motion, or time slice, which is a visual effect, either a visual effect or a visual impression of detaching both the time and space of a camera or viewer from that of its visible subject. It's a depth-enhanced simulation of variable speed, action, and performance found in films, broadcast advertisements, and well, real life, real time graphics within like video games and other special media. Okay. So players can use a second ability to help out in tough situations called Speed Breaker. When used, the ability slows down time, similar to bullet time, induces drift and induces drift and momentarily increases the weight. So increases the weight of the player's car to make it harder to be pushed around, thus allowing players to maneuver their car out of a difficult situation. So, like for example, like when in slow mo, you start to turn the vehicle, the weight of the car pushes it aside, causing the car to lift slightly off the ground. And then after slow mo is done, then you start to like get back in position and just start acting like a normal car. Well, not entirely, but in the game. So players can use a second ability to help out in tough situations called Speed Breaker. When used, the ability slows down time, similar to bullet time, induces drifts and momentarily increases the weight of the player's car to make it harder to be pushed around, thus allowing players to maneuver their car out of a difficult situation. Alright, next up is police pursuit. While the concept of players being engaged by the cops had been a feature of most entries in the series since the first Need for Speed title, which is known as The Need for Speed, which came out in 1994, which I talked about a couple weeks ago, I think, somewhere around there. So the first Need for Speed title, it's the first NFS title. The development of Most Wanted saw the gameplay mechanic both enhanced and firmly introduced into the series through the employment of a complex system. When players became engaged, when players become engaged in a police pursuit, usually from conducting a traffic offense referred to as infractions in the game, in sight of a police unit, such as speeding, their aim at this point is to escape from the pursuit by either evading or taking out pursuing vehicles. The game's on-screen HUD is modified during a pursuit, including highlighting pursuing police units on the minimap, displaying the car's heat 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 level, and adding a pursuit bar at the bottom. So pursuit bar at the bottom, detailing the number of police units in the pursuit, how many have been evaded and how many have been taken out. The pursuit system calculates how the cops handle the player via the heat level accumulated against the player's current car. heat accumulates from committing offenses and continually evading capture by the cops. The higher levels of heat causing the cops to be more aggressive from employing additional tactics. So both additional tactics and tools such as roadblocks, spike strips, and police helicopters. It's the same in Need for Speed Rivals 2013. They have the same, roadblocks, spike strips, police helicopters, all that kind of stuff. But they have a lot more pursuit tech than Most Wanted had back in 2005. So, to involving stronger, faster cop cars. So cop cars such as police SUVs and federal units. If a player if a player has only one car actively pursuing them, reinforcements may be called in and arrive after a period of time. Players can lose the cops. So players can lose the cops through skillful driving. So skillful driving, making use of their special abilities, ramming pursuing vehicles, and utilizing pursuit breakers. Pursuit breakers, environmental traps highlighted on the minimap, which when triggered cause a certain number of cop cars to be taken out of action, such as smashing through a gas station, evading and losing the cops, either by disabling / immobilizing vehicles, gaining some distance from pursuers, or a combination of both. Doesn't end pursuits once there are no more active vehicles. Instead, the player enters a cooldown period when this happens, which pauses the pursuits and any reinforcements being called in. So any reinforcements being called in, they must both hide and avoid being spotted by the cops. So by the cops for a period of time. So they have to hide and avoid being spotted by police for a period of time. The length of time for this period is long. So the length of time for this period is longer at higher levels of heat. Heat can be decreased significantly if the player reaches and hides in special concealment spots around the game's setting, which are marked on the minimap during this phase. And are used to place them out of sight of police units. A pursuit fully ends when the player successfully escapes the cops, or is both overwhelmed and trapped, and thus busted as a result. Or arrested as a result, if you want it as a scientific matter. It's scientific matter. Next up we got is career mode. In the game's main mode. So main mode, the objective is to race against each of the settings major street racers, or blacklist racer, if you want to call it that, and defeat them. Initially, players begin by completing a tutorial sequence of events to ease players into the game. whereupon they must choose a card to use for the rest of the game. The selection available is limited, but more become available as the player defeats each blacklist racer, including better performance upgrades for these, with players able to sell series of racing events, which earn cash rewards when run. So not run. Milestones focus on completing specific objectives. Sorry, most of which usually involve being involved in a police pursuit and raising the player's bounty, a form of currency. A form of currency detailing how much trouble the player has caused for the police in the game setting, based on the number of offenses and damage to property they had caused. So bounty is known as like either a payment or reward. It's a payment or a reward of money. So yeah, a form of currency detailing how much trouble the player has caused for the cops in the game setting, based on the number of offenses and damage to property they have caused. An example of a milestone can be the player being required to enter a police pursuit and then attempting to escape it within a set amount of time. Police pursuits in this mode can be a police pursuits. So police pursuits in this mode. So police pursuits in this mode can occur in free roam. So free roam during a race. Or from activating one in the game's pause menu. The latter can be done only if there are any milestones yet to be completed. Although police pursuits will mainly impede a player if they begin pursuing them in a race. They'll attempt to arrest them when in free roam. If the police achieve this, the player's fined based on their heat level, which is reset, and their car is given an impound strike. If the player cannot pay their fines or receive a third strike on their car, it's both impounded and lost. Losing all their cars this way and having no money to buy a new one automatically ends the game. If the player escapes pursuit, the car retains the heat level it accumulated, but can lose this by either having its visual looks either changed or by driving another car for a period of time. Players can view a statistic screen at any time during this mode to view their records. So records regarding infractions, the cost to states, deployed tactics, and pursuit lengths. To take on each blacklist racer, players must complete events and milestones associated with them, whereupon they must win against the racer in a successive series of races. The number increases as the player progresses in the story, defeating a blacklist racer not only unlocks the next opponent and a new series of events along with new milestones to achieve, but also unlocks additional cars and upgrade parts. as well, along with allowing the player to claim 2 rewards from them. Each blacklist racer, so each blacklist racer has 6 rewards they can offer when defeated, while 3 of these rewards consist of special customization, parts, and unique performance upgrades. The other 3 concealed from the player until selected consist of a racer's personal car, so you can win their car. So a racer's personal car, a uniquely modified vehicle, and 2 randomly selected bonus functions. So extra money, so extra cash, impound recovery of lost vehicles, a get out of jail free card, an impound strike limit extension on any car. Any component markers selected can be acquired. So any component markers selected can be acquired by visiting the garages after returning to free roam. In addition, defeating specific blacklist racers unlocks access to the other districts of the city. The player has access to one district to begin with, but unlocks more as they progress in the game, including additional safe houses all around Rosewood, Camden Beach, and then we got Rockport. So in that order specifically. So, but unlocks more as they progress in the game, including additional safe houses. Next up we got is Quick Race, Challenge Series, and Multiplayer. In Quick Race mode, players can enter any events they wish and use any car that they want, while opting to either make custom parameters for the event. So, in other words, the number of laps they want to challenge others to. Say the number of laps, or let the game create a random set of parameters. The number of events and cars to choose from depend on the player's progress in the game's career mode. In challenge series, challenge can talk. In challenge series mode, so in challenge series mode, players take part in a successive series of events in which completing one unlocks the next event. While around half of the half of these are focused on checkpoint races, the other consists of a mix of pursuit events akin to the milestone events in career mode, with each event tasking the player to complete its goal using a specific car on a specific route from a starting position, and and beginning on a certain level of heat, so a certain heat level. Cars from each event are pre-tuned and range from various cars available in career mode to those not accessible, such as dump trucks and cop cars. Completing specific challenges rewards the player with bonus cars. So you have bonus cars for use in both career and quick race mode. Multiplayer Most Wanted consists of online modes. So online modes, which are available for the Xbox 360, the original Xbox, PC, and PSP editions of the game. Up to 4 players can participate in an online race and can race in 4 game modes, including circuit, sprint, lap knockout, and speed trap. Furthermore, there's the option to enable performance matching in an online race. All cars in the race are automatically upgraded to match the performance, like i.e. top speed, handling, etc., of the fastest car in that particular race. As soon as the race is over, All mods made to the car. So all mods made to the cars by performance matching are removed. Say by performance matching are removed. The online multiplayer lobby was shut down on August 1st, 2011. Say 2011, though it's still possible to play the game in multiplayer via an unofficial mod called Most Wanted Online. Next up we got is plot. So this is interesting. First off is setting. Most Wanted takes place in the fictional city of Rockport, which consists of three major districts: Rosewood, Camden Beach, and downtown Rockport. So it's in order. Say Rosewood, Camden Beach, and downtown Rockport. The city consists of areas featuring grimy industrial complexes, affluent suburbs, mountainous and wooded surroundings, a university campus, and a downtown core with a mixture of road networks ranging from coastal roads to major highways. The setting is heavily influenced by cities from across the U.S. like Rust Belt. There's like the region of northeastern, midwestern U.S. and very northern parts of the southern U.S. So Rust Belt and Pacific Northwest, or PNW, sometimes referred to as Cascadia, which is spelled Cascadia, so Cascadia. So Rust Belt and Pacific Northwest, with some resemblances to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Seattle, Washington, and Portland, Oregon. Much of the game's events and story take place in a fixed time period between sunrise and sunset, compared to the previous titles' races that took place at night. Somehow Most Wanted doesn't have a nighttime system, but it's kind of interesting. Kind of cool, also. Well, not really cool, but I don't even know how to like explain it. Like, it would be kind of interesting. Would it be like if Most Wanted had a night system, so you could race at night? It'd be kind of interesting. Next up, we got a story. In the city of Rockport, the RPD, which is the Rockport Police Department, worked to put an end to the city's illegal street racing scene. A task force of traffic officers led by Sergeant uh, John Cross, played by Dean McKenzie, works to bring down any street racers, most prominently including a group known as the Blacklist, 15 street racers who have gained notoriety for both their racing skill and their both frequent and hazardous law-breaking driving and capture bounty. The player, a street racer who arrives at Rockport with a custom painted blue and silver BMW M3 GTR. So GTR meets fellow street racer Mia Townsend, played by Josie Marin. Josie Marin meets fellow street racer Mia Townsend, played by Josie Marin, whilst driving in the southern bridge towards Camden Beach. in her Mazda RX-8 and races her until Rockport, where he's greeted by Cross and his female partner, not sure who her name is, and narrowly avoids arrest after Cross is called to an ongoing pursuit. Mia, inex- Mia inexplicably leaves before Cross blocks the player in his M3. The player then randomly finds and races against Ronnie McCrea, who is driving a yellow Toyota Supra Mark IV. So Toyota Supra A.K.A. Mark IV, which in the game really sounds badass. Or sounds cool. Who's driving a yellow Toyota Supra Mark IV A80, and after defeating him, attracts the attention of Ronnie's boss, Clarence Razor Callahan, the Blacklist's lowest ranked driver. He receives help from Mia in setting up a race with Toru Bull Sato, another henchman of Razor, who's number 2 on the blacklist. Deciding to race the player instead of Razor, the player wins despite police being called by Razor to raise the stakes, interfering with the race. The player then faces off against Raj, voiced by Andre Soglioso. I literally can't pronounce the name. So Andre is spelled Andre with a dash on the top, and Soglioso, can't pronounce this though, is spelled S-O-G, so Sogliuzzo, born August 10th, 1966, age 57, in New York City, the land of opportunity. Voiced by Andre Sogliuzzo, still can't pronounce it, in a friendly circuit race. Friendly circuit race. Impressed, he decides to be by the player's side, warning him to watch his back around these guys. Razor meets the player at an intersection, congratulating the player for clearing his challenges before challenging him for a chance to usurp, which is spelled USURP, so usurp him on the blacklist. He warns the player that all blacklist races are pink slip events, meaning a loss also means the loss of the loser's car. One thing that doesn't mention in this list is that it doesn't mention Cross scratching the paint across the M3 with a key. Well, I'm surprised it did not mention that, but that part is just painful. Like to see, literally just give me chills when him scratching the paint across with the key of a C6 Corvette. It's just painful to believe. Blacklist races are pink slip events, meaning a loss also means the loss of the loser's car. Challenging Razor in a race a few days later. The player's BMW leaves a huge oil slick at the start line, and the M3 breaks down near the end of a race due to engine failure. The player loses the race. So the player loses the race, forcing him to forfeit his car to Razor. Cross soon arrives with the RPD. So RPD and arrests the player for street racing after Razor and the other street racers escape, but is forced to release him due to lack of evidence, as the player no longer has a car to drive. Once once free, once free, Mia picks up the player from the police station and reveals to him that Razor has sabotaged his car in order to seize it and use it to climb up in ranks within the blacklist, and advises him to do the same in order to get revenge. She provides the player with a safe house and helps him secure a new car. Secure a new car, and the player begins working to compete against the blacklist in a series of street races and challenges involving police pursuits. Although Mia helps the player, she also puts side bets on him and tells him to look the other way in exchange for the help. In time, the player rises up in the ranks, gaining enough reputation to soon attract the Razor's attention once they become uh, the number 13 racer on the blacklist. From there on, he randomly calls the player throughout the game. Later in the game, getting both enraged and accusing the player of being a cop, or hanging out with a cop due to the increasing police scrutiny. I think I said it right. Scrutiny. Say scrutiny or scrutiny. I can't really pronounce the word. I think I said it right. Scrutiny. In races through Rockport, Mia also supplies the player with a rap sheet. In the end game, the rivals, the rivals, the rivals compete again in another five race pink slip. Pink slip, with the player eventually defeating Razor. Mia snatches the M3 keys from Razor, and when Razor attempts to steal them back, she subdues him and throws him to the ground, revealing. So she subdues him and throws him to the ground, revealing herself to be an undercover cop, so an undercover police officer for the RPD, who had been working to bring down the blacklist from the inside for Cross by flashing a badge and showing her service weapon at the rest of the blacklist. It reminds me of the first Fast and Furious movie where Brian O'Connor blew his cover as an undercover cop near the end of the film. So after they took Vince to the hospital, Brian arrives back at the Toretto house, and his friends, who used to no longer be friends, but they were throughout the entire movie, throughout the entire franchise, they realized he was a cop, and all the hates just keeps going on and on and on, and so on and so forth. Then Jesse gets shot by Lance and Johnny Tran, and Don takes out Lance, and Brian just kills Johnny Tran to death. So Mia snatches the M3 keys from Razor, and when Razor attempts to steal them back, she subdues him and throws him to the ground, revealing herself to be an undercover police officer. It's undercover cop for the RB. I almost said RCPD. Need for Speed Rivals. So the RPD, Rockport Police Department, who's been working to bring down the blacklist from the inside for Cross by flashing a badge and showing her service weapon at the rest of the blacklist. Cross soon arrives with backup to arrest the blacklist before they could flee. Before Razor and the others can be arrested, Mia tosses the key to the player. Mia tosses the key to the player, allowing him to run. Cross subsequently demands the entire RPD to go after the player, who is now the most wanted street racer in the nation, as the RPD begins a citywide manhunt for the player. So manhunt, which is a law enforcement tactic, such as an extensive and thorough search for a wanted and dangerous, so both wanted and dangerous fugitive, involving the use of police units, technology, and help from the public. So as the RC, so keep saying RCPD, as rivals. God damn. As the RPD begins a citywide manhunt for the player, Mia contacts him and informs him of an escape route out of the city by jumping a derelict bridge on the city limits. The M3 being fast enough to make the jump, the player successfully evades the cops by jumping the bridge and escaping Rockport. In a post-credits scene, Cross creates a national level warrant for the player and his BMW M3 GTR, adding him to the national most wanted list. This event leads to the sequel, Need for Speed Carbon 2006, which I will do very soon, I promise. Don't worry, I'll do it soon. Next up we got is both development and release. Sorry if it took so long, just because I kept on screwing it up. I just kept on messing it up and all that shit. Sorry, but I just keep messing up always. Just tired, I want to get this done and over with, but I reckon literally by the time this will be over, it'll be like 12 in the morning, I think, I don't know, but roughly when I get this done, I'm not 100% sure, but we'll find out. So next up is development and release. Not much on there, so phew, thank God for that. And same for soundtrack, but there's not much for reception. Not bad. Really, reception has like the least amounts of info for it, but let's do it. So our next one, development and release. The cutscenes in the game. So the cutscenes in the game are live action video shots with both real actors and set pieces, and CGI computer generated imagery. So computer generated imagery effects are added to car exteriors and environments for extra visual flair. So extra visual flair. The videos are presented in a significant different style from the Underground series, and this presentation of cutscenes is used again in both Carbon 2006 and Undercover 2008, which an edition of this game was released on 2009 for iOS, mainly for like iPhones and all that stuff, so iPhone OS. I'm not sure if it's still available. Maybe they removed it. I'm not 100% sure. So the videos are presented in a significant to development and release. The cutscenes in the game are live action videos shots with real actors and set pieces, and CGI effects are added to car exteriors and environments for extra visual flair. The videos are presented in a significantly different style from the Underground series. And this presentation of cutscenes is used again in both Carbon 2006 and Undercover 2008. So Carbon 2006 and Undercover 2008. The depiction between between all of the versions, graphics-wise, is not the same, especially on portable versions. I say portable versions. The Microsoft Windows version, so the Microsoft Windows version varies by hardware and can look better compared to the console versions. So console versions. The recommended hard so, so the recommended hardware or above has a similar frame rates to the Xbox 360 version. The game makes heavy use of the HDRR, so high dynamic range rendering, also known as high dynamic range lighting. So HDRR, or just HDR rendering, aka HDRL. So HDRR and motion blur effects to give them to give a more to give a more to give a more realistic feeling. So yeah, a more realistic feel. There we go. Next up, guys, other versions. So Most Wanted Black Edition, which is a collector's edition of Most Wanted, was released in celebration of the NFS series. The NFS series is 10th anniversary. Say 10th anniversary. 10th anniversary. In the 10th anniversary, and in conjunction with the release of Most Wanted, the Black Edition. The Black Edition features additional races, bonus cars, additional races, bonus cars, and other additional content. The Black Edition came with a special feature DVD that contains both interviews and videos about the game. The Black Edition was released for Microsoft Windows, PS2, and the original Xbox in both the US and Australia. Only the PS2 version of Black Edition was released additionally. So released additionally for Europe. Most Wanted 510. So Most Wanted 510 is a PSP. So PSP port. So PSP port of Most Wanted, released on the same day as both its console and PC counterparts. Similar to Most Wanted, 510 features a similar Blacklist 15 listing. So both Blacklist 15 listing and career mode, with the addition of Tuner Takedown. So Tuner Takedown, a Be the Cop. So Be the Cop mode, not featured on Most Wanted. So not featured on Most Wanted. 510 lacks many elements of its other console and PC counterpart. So like so lacks so Most Wanted 510 lacks many elements of its other console and PC counterparts, like cutscenes, storyline, and free roam mode, and contains minor differences, including listing the real name of a blacklist racer rather than his/her nickname. The title of the game. So the title of the game is based on the numerals. So the numerals 5110. So 510, which is the police code. So police code for street racing. the latest patch. So the latest patch for the Windows version, which is version 1.3, was released on December 6th, 2005. So it was 8 days before I was even born. Next up, we got a soundtrack. The music featured in the game are mostly licensed music by EA Tracks. It's a variety of music genres ranging. So it's a variety of music genres ranging from rap, hip hop, say rap, hip hop, electronica, and rock, sung by the artists like the real life artists like The Prodigy, Cell Dweller, Styles of Beyond, who's known for performing the game's signature menu theme song, Ninth Though, which is pretty cool. Which is one badass song. So it's nine, and then Though is spelled Thou, as well as performing another song called Shapeshifter by Cell Dweller. Cell Dweller. Rock. Rock, Lupe Fiasco, Disturbed, Avenged Sevenfold, BT, which was Brian Wayne Trancel, who did the soundtracks for the Fast and the Furious, which is pretty cool. I completely forgot where I was. Sorry. So around soundtrack, reception is the last part. Sorry. The music featured in the game are most. So the music featured in the game are mostly licensed music by EA Tracks. It's a variety of music genres ranging from rap, hip hop, electronica, and rock, sung by artists like The Prodigy, Cell Dweller, Styles of Beyond, who's known for performing the game's signature menu theme song, Ninth Though, as well as performing another song called Shapeshifter by Cell Dweller, Rock, Lupe Fiasco, Disturbed, Avenged Sevenfold, BT, Brian Trancel, who did the soundtracks for the Fast and the Furious 2001, the first Fast and Furious movie, and The Roots, who's known for performing the song Tao of the Machine. So Tao is spelled T-A-O, and then of the Machine. That was originally in Blade 2, 2002. Static X, Bullets for My Valentine, and Hush. The rap songs mostly play in the game's main menu, while hip hop, rock songs, electronica, and techno music mostly play during race sequences. The game features a score composed by Paul Linford that plays during pursuit sequences. So the game features a score composed by Paul Linford. The rap songs mostly play in the game's main menu, while hip hop, rock songs, electronica, and techno music mostly play during race. Wait, hold on. So it's a ride. Oh god, I got to do this one more. I'm gonna do this soundtrack again one more time. So the the music featured in the game are mostly licensed music by EA Tracks. It's a variety of music genres ranging from rap, hip hop, electronica, and rock, sung by artists like The Prodigy, Cell Dweller, Styles of Beyond, who is known for performing the game's signature menu theme song, Ninth Though, as well as performing another song called Shapeshifter with Cell Dweller, Rock, Lupe Fiasco, Disturbed, Avenged Sevenfold, Brian Transo, or known as BT, and The Roots, who's known for performing the song Tao of the Machine that was originally in Blade 2, 2002, Static X, Bullet for My Valentine, and Hush. The rap songs mostly play in the game's main menu, while hip hop, rock songs, electronica, and techno music mostly plays during race sequences. Sorry, I'm just so tired. So race sequences. The game features a score composed by Paul Linford that plays during pursuit sequences. Paul Linford alongside Chris Vrenna, so spelled V. So his last name Vrenna is spelled V. So VRENNA. So Chris Vrenna developed two original songs that play during races: The Man and Most Wanted mashup. The licensed songs can be played during free roam races and are optional during pursuit chases if the player chooses to not play the licensed score performed by Paul Linford, or may not be played at all. Some of the pursuit chases, some of the pursuit chase music. So some of the pursuit chase music would eventually be featured in its successor, Need for Speed Carbon 2006. So Chris Verena was born February 23rd, 1967. He was an American musician, producer, engineer, remixer, programmer, and founder of the electronic band Tweaker. So he played drums for the industrial rock band Nine Inch Nails from 1988 until 1988 until 1996. So it was 8 years, and was the keyboardist and drummer of the American rock band Marilyn Manson. So Marilyn Manson from 2004 until late 2011. So late 2011. So born February 23rd, 1967, age 57, in Erie, Pennsylvania, which is a city on the south shore of Lake Erie and the county states of Erie County, Pennsylvania, U.S. So Chris Renna developed two original songs that played during races: The Man and Most Wanted mashup. The licensed songs can be played during free roam races and are optional during pursuit chases. If the player chooses to not play the licensed score performed by Paul Linford, or may not be played at all, some of the pursuit chase music would eventually be featured in its successor, Need for Speed Carbon 2006. 2006. Last but certainly not the very least, we got is reception. So we got same aggregate score, but this time it's a little bit different because the aggregate score is not as huge as before. So it's a little bit different. So we got aggregator, only Metacritic. So Metacritic. So the last one is reception, and then we'll end it there. So we got aggregate score as always. So aggregator is Metacritic. So so these are the scores out of 100 for these 7 consoles. So the first one you got is Nintendo GameCube, which is 80%. PC, so Nintendo GameCube. So aggregator Metacritic, the score for each of these 8 devices. So Nintendo GameCube, 80, 80%. So 80%, PC 82%. Same with PS2, PSP 72%, Nintendo DS a shocking 45%. Xbox is a little bit better, the original one, 83%, and the same with the Xbox 360, also 83%. That's pretty good. Next up is the review scores. So we got review scores is next. So we got publication for these 6. So we got oneup.com with a score of A minus. I'm not sure what that is in percentage terms, but who knows. Say oneup.com A minus. Game Informer, so Game Informer 85%. So Game Informer 85%. Game Revolution B plus. Don't know the scoring method for that, but I'll say Game Revolution B plus. GameSpot 84%. So GameSpot 84%. GameSpy, so GameSpy 80%, and then IGN 85%. So 85%. 85%. Most wanted was met with positive reviews. Says great. Say positive reviews. GameSpot praised the game for its sharp graphics. So sharp graphics and outstanding sound effects. So outstanding sound effects. There we go. But noted the AI, artificial intelligence, for being sometimes easy at first. So easy at first and sometimes hard at later stages. So easy at first, but then it gets tougher at later stages. IGN. So IGN praised the map design. So map design, describing it as a crazily chromed out sepia tone. Sepia spells SEPIA. So sepia tone landscape of industrial structures. The car modeling, car lineup, and return of exotics. Particularly strong praise was given to the police system, saying that the cops are saying that the cops saying that the I can't even talk. Saying that the cops continue so saying that the cops continually grow in both aggressiveness and numbers. So aggressiveness and numbers, and they add component of challenge, annoyance, and heat that makes this game both challenging, challenging and entertaining. Praise of a praise even went to the praise even can't talk. Praise even went to the cutscenes and their casting, which usually falls victim to critics saying that this mixture of animated, highly colored, highly highly colored FMV characters and stylized backgrounds. So stylized backgrounds is both imaginative and refreshing. So both imaginative and refreshing. Imaginative, and refreshing. During during the ninth annual ninth annual ninth annual interactive achievement awards. So AIAA, the AIAS, so the Academy of Interactive Arts and Sciences, awarded Most Wanted with Racing Game of the Year. Say Racing Game of the Year, along with a nomination for Outstanding Character Performance Female. So outstanding character performance female. So outstanding character performance female. Most Wanted was a commercial success. It sold 16 million copies. So 16 million copies worldwide, and 3.9 million, almost 4 million in the US, making it the best-selling title in the series. The PS2 version, so the PS2 version of Most Wanted received a double platinum sales award from the ELSPA and Entertainment and Leisure, so Entertainment and Leisure Software Publishers Association, indicating sales of at least 600 600,000 copies. So 600,000 copies in the UK. Alright, finally done. And that is it, guys, for now. So yeah, sorry if it took that long. It's just because I kept on screwing up and keep on forgetting where I left off to, because I'm just so tired. I just wanted to get this one done, because this one was a special one, and then from the next video I got another one to do, and then the other ones, and so much more of these. I gotta take a bit of a break from doing these Need for Speed videos. I don't know, I'll see what I can do. Anyways, guys, so that's gonna wrap it up for tonight. If you guys like this video, like it, subscribe, comment down below what you guys think, hit the notification bell, and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so it's 11:10 p.m. on Monday evening. So remember, if you like the video, like and subscribe, comment down below. So like and subscribe, comment down below what you guys think. Hit the notification bell. So hit the notification bell and hit all so you're alerted when I make brand new uploads. Alright, so that'll be it. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. But until then, stay safe. Have a great evening. have a great evening and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe out. Take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So I gotta go. So I'll see you all in the next video. And until then, stay safe. Have a great evening. And have a great evening and have a great day tomorrow morning. And I'll see you guys soon in the next video. So take care, folks. Stay safe. Take care, folks. Stay safe out there. And I'll see you guys soon. Good night. Good night, guys.